Hey Aries, come on in as the leaves fall. We've got the lots of change, the seasons. And what's going on in your life right now? Well, your cards are talking about the foundational relationships in your life and who actually sees you for your whole self and loves you for your whole self. It's really important to you right now. Cards are talking about it. Now we're going to. Stay tuned. Hello, Aries. Good to see you. Good to see you. One of my very favorite stars. And also, talking about stars, we have someone who came to join us. This is Star. She decided to jump up and join us. And normally she's either in the background or just coming to swat Theo on the head. Because she's extremely independent, just like Aries. And she knows what she likes, and she knows what she wants, and she does what she wants. So Aries, how are you? Wanted to get these shuffled really good just to make sure. With all these lunar eclipses, we just went through the solar eclipse. We just went through the solar eclipse, and we're right in the middle now. So it's going to be interesting to see what your cards say and how you're going to show up with these transitions. We went through, of course, the planets in retrograde. A lot of them coming back around now. Hey, Theo. And now we're right in the middle of these two eclipses. It's a really big time period because we've got a lot of in between Scorpio energy. Theo, leave my drink alone. A lot of in between Scorpio energy that's setting people off. Well, not setting people off, honey. You don't. Once again, you don't need the. Theo, come on, Theo, let's go. He's like, I want the ice cubes. So, with the. Oh my God, he just sprayed me in the face. That's so funny. Because he stuck his paw in my drink and then he flicks it on my face. You know, that's the way life is, and that's the way these eclipses are right now. And it's like, how do we handle them? How do we, with grace, handle our own drink being flicked on our face? Oh, good Lord. Because of people's nature. And how can we, get angry, with people's nature. Pick our fights, Aries. Pick our fights. You know what I'm saying? Got to pick your fights. And one fight is not with Theo. Oh, although there's times where I'm like, stop. Wow. Wow. Okay. Amazing. All right. Woo. We got some intense cards. Very good. Very good. All right. We'll take them on. We'll take them on. All right. Give me just a moment to straighten these out, and I'll be right back. Okay, Aries, welcome back. I am really excited to talk about this. Now, this reading is love and relationships, but of course, if a lot of lovey-dovey romantic stuff doesn't come up, then we don't talk about it because that's not what it is. And mostly in this reading, it's not the lovey-dovey stuff. Now, there is something in the middle that does talk about some of you may have experienced a relationship with a male type energetic or someone who has a very intellectual thinking type mind. And let's go to this top. They came in just in your recent past. So we've got here with this King of Swords, which is a very headstrong person, really a big thinker, right? He's very, very, very happy with you. You guys had a good interaction, okay? And that might be with a very, very few of you. There's the opportunity that some of you just experienced sort of like a wedding or a union agreement that you decided to have with each other. A really very solid, very happy. So for any of you that did get married most recently in the past, congratulations. That's wonderful. But so there's good energy just right in your past with a particular relationship with a male energetic, someone who has a male energetic that is a real strong heady thinking person. Okay, so now here's what I do want to talk about right in your middle section here. This is the biggest thing right now that we want to talk about. And the thing about this middle section is you have right now something that's very, very, very important to you is the foundations of your relationships that are based in actions, repeated actions. It's very important for you right now. Who are your solid relationships? The proven relationships, the ones that you commit to. These are this card right here. Let me show you. This card. Hi, Cappy. This card right here, because we've got a double whammy right in the middle, okay? So we've got this, a double whammy right here. You can see this with the Four of Wands, okay? So fours are very much so, hi Cappy, fours are very much so like foundational. They're solid, okay? And these are relationships that you celebrate. Like when you you commit to somebody, you have a wedding, they are partnerships that you ultimately, yes, Cappy, not right now, baby, not right now. These are ultimately relationships that you commit to completely. And it's very, very important to you right now. You got a double whammy. And the one on top of it, you got a double whammy on top of that, which is the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is really talking about, once again, the relationships that, like your babies, the people that you're committed to, the people that you're absolutely committed to, and their actions, along with your intuition, with the High Priestess and everything, your ultimate, your highest self, that they see you for who you are completely, right? They love you and see you for who you are and celebrate you completely. And their actions speak louder than the words. Although, when people do words, consistent type words over and over again and repetitive action, that's an action. When they have to either keep cutting on you, keep competing with you, keep doing this or keep doing that, whatever it is, repetitive, that becomes an action. The words are just following through. Cappy, we really can't do this right now, sweetie. So he is one of my lovers. He's the one that's like need lots and lots and lots and lots of love. And so that's really important to you right now. And within your solid foundational relationships. Now, the one thing it talks about at the very bottom is you had something that you just realized it's an OSHIT moment, something that you've really got to address. You get the Tower card doubled down on the bottom. And with that, let's go to the top. With that, we've got areas where you're going to have to address it. It looks like you're going to have a team effort. You're going to realize the things that you need to go through to manifest. You got the three, your teams. You got your teams here. So you're looking at, say, if it was something financial, you're like, okay, I know how I need to handle this. Okay. Also over here in your attitude, you can see the gifts that are coming to you of also a gift of how to handle this Tower card, how to handle this scenario where it's like, oh goodness, I need to handle this. So that's a really good thing, that even though you've got the OSHIT moment in your life where something you either have to really address something or something kind of blows up, it looks like you have the ability with your connections and to figure out who and what to utilize to figure out and fix the problem, and also the gifts that are coming through of how to, not just sitting there and being all attitude and poo-poo because the Tower card came upon you. It's like, no, I see how I need to fix this, and the gifts of how, instead of just being dissatisfied and everything. You're not going to sit in that energy. You're going to get in action and you're going to take care of it. So that's really good. All right. So, yes, I love you too. I love you too. Okay. So now going into the future, it is right here. It is talking about, as we go into the future here, it's talking about you are still going to need to either, now remember with the lunar eclipse, it's a Taurus lunar eclipse. So we have to do with also foundational things. We have to do with our survival, our stability, and, home, clothing, food, all of that. The simple levels of survival are coming into that and having to pay attention. So it is saying within your environment and your sanctuary and how you're trying to build your life, you're going to need to pay attention to that. And also it is saying listen to your instincts. The deck between the High Priestess and the Temperance card and everything is saying go inner. Be realistic, but still go inner and find out what is going to work best for you and address it. So addressing your finances, addressing your environment, that's going to come into play. It's going to be one of your focuses coming into play. And so you are going to understand which relationships you can really utilize, how they're going to come forth, which relationships also you want to put your energies into. you have to be able to know that you can count on people. They can count on you and you can count on them. And once again, with the High Priestess, people who really see you for all that you are and accept you and love you for who you are, for the things that you love, for the things that you are. That's important to you right now. Very, very important of what really is that way. And also we've got Venus coming like into the Virgo, so it's about facts. It's about facts, factual. Not who you want to or who you wish, who is. And that's where you're going to put your attentions. Those are the foundations, the Four of Wands, of the foundations of your real relationships. Those are the ones that really make a difference and make a difference right now. Okay. Moving forward, it is saying once again within your environment, there are things within the stuff that you're trying to manifest here, okay? And in what areas you need to allocate your energies and your trying to manifest. Some with you would be money and everything. Remember, we're coming into the Taurus lunar eclipse. And then, so basically, it's organizing that. And you're getting the information to know where to give your money, where to receive money, where to give your energies to manifesting stuff, and where not to. So it's the ebb and flow of that right now, of where all of the energies need to go. I mean, those energies going out from you, energies coming in. So that's a big focus for you right now. We don't have a lot of lovey-dovey, within the next 2 weeks here, energies. That's not going to be like the big focus for you. No. That's what the cards are saying. So I only talk about what the cards are saying. One of the things that you're saying in your hopes and fears, you're really hoping that within your new projects and the actions that you're taking, that you have the correct information to make the right decisions. Okay, so then coming into the far future, it does say something interesting. And it is saying that you are being successful with some of your actions. You've got the Chariot here. Okay, so you are being successful with your actions, okay? Okay, we've got the Chariot, okay? You're driving your Chariot, you're doing well. It's very bright, you're very solid on your driving it. Now it is saying though with the Victory card, within your actions, you're having delayed victory, okay? So keep going, keep going. This is not the time to quit or to doubt yourself. You got to keep going, but this is just going to be delayed satisfaction and victory. You'll have it, but it's not going to be right away, okay? But don't quit, you're doing well. Okay, so also, one thing that it's talking about right here that I definitely want to talk about. Now, this is one area that in the future, just like Gemini was having a few tests with this, but in a slightly different fashion, but this with you is areas that you have given forgiveness to people that have giving you kind of the energetic of like betrayal and stuff, but you're going to be tested. It's like the universe says, oh yeah, really? You've been able to get over or move on or either forgive or just move forward. You know, like when you realize someone has just a real crappy way of expressing themselves and they've always done it and they're never going to get any better, and you're just like, you know what? I'm just not going to address that anymore. I'm not going to let that affect me. I'm not going to let it feel like a betrayal. That's their crap. It's not my crap. It has nothing to do with me and their actions and words and stuff that they take that just really hurt me. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to be tested. You're going to say, oh, the universe is like, oh, really? So you think you're over that? Well, let's see that. Let's see. Let's have them say a few more words, or people say a few more words that would normally affect you. How are you going to do with that? It's one thing to have realization and say, well, I'm just not going to let that affect me anymore. It's another thing when it starts happening again, and it might happen in succession. And then you have to be like, well, how well am I doing with that, really? Like, there are certain people in our lives where they keep saying stuff, and it's just like, you know, sometimes you just need to get away from them, excuse yourself, get off the phone, just be like, mm-mm. And Aries, I'm telling you right now, if it does come into that, it's not meant for Aries to fight, or anybody to really, well, some people, it depends. It depends on how people are setting their boundaries right now, knowing what's good for them, what's healthy for them within their relationships. We just had the Libra solar eclipse, so that has to do with your relationships and the balance of those relationships. Those are big. I mean, we're right into the Libra sun solar eclipse, and then the Taurus lunar eclipse. Okay, we're right in the middle, the middle has a whole bunch of Scorpio energy, which is very deep, very emotional, and sometimes even paranoid. And we just came over here. We just came from a whole bunch of the retrogrades that sent us into past relationships, past experiences, right? So what we're having to do is, a lot of times that's old friendships, it's family, it's old wounds, and it's saying, well, what about my relationships now? And if those relationships do have to do still with people past that are in my future, like, am I going to keep being triggered? Am I going to keep putting up with certain behaviors, certain either actions or conversations that people are having with me? Am I going to set boundaries? When I set boundaries, if some of those people decide that they don't want to keep having a relationship with me because they want to keep talking to me that way or doing certain things and I don't want it anymore, I mean, you got to be willing to let stuff go if people can't accept your boundaries. That's the way it is. And it has to be really thoughtful right now. And we're right in the middle of that. So we've got our relationships with like Libra and the balancing them out of what's healthy and healthy for each person. We've got the fundamentals and bringing everything into simple terms with Taurus, okay? Earthy, simple, foundational terms with Taurus. And we have all the Scorpio energy that's really mixing up and going deep, deep. It's really, really painful for a lot of people right now. And so with Aries and with anybody else, I mean, in your most exalted form, you're not going to be in the fight because you're one of the best fighters that there is. You're the Muhammad Ali. And like, if you want to know an Aries fighter, oh my goodness. Think of Muhammad Ali when he's dancing around like, really? Okay, let's do this. You want to do this? I mean, you're one of the best. But right now, take a moment and really get the information in and don't get in the ring. And if you see other people, you can coach, but they're also really looking at you, because if Aries is not getting in the ring to fight, it'll make them think twice, because you need to be the more mature one right now, because people are looking at you. People are watching, because you're one of the best fighters there is. And if you're not fighting, they'll have to ask themselves, well, should I be fighting too? And it's not about fighting right now. It's about reflection. Let's wait until we get through the lunar eclipse in Taurus. Okay, we get some stability, some foundation there, and we're really coming into the Venus in Virgo, which is great because that's about facts. And then we'll make some decisions then, or maybe take some actions then. But let's be reflective and then be a good either referee, because when you're your exalted form, you're like either a coach or a referee. You don't need to fight anymore. You're one of the best. But you can show people in an elevated form what you stand for and how you want to fight. Because right now there's a lot of people that are very uncomfortable with being in the Scorpio deep energy, but they're having to address this stuff and they're having to set boundaries. So we can't do the fight for them, but we still can referee and we still can coach. You understand what I'm saying? All right, but for you, it is saying in the future that you are going to have a situation where you're going to be tested, and it's going to be through words. It's going to be someone saying something to see if you're triggered and seeing if you're willing, if they have power over you, and if they can still get you to be triggered and fight. So just letting you know. And it's someone that you in your mind have either said, I'm either forgiving or I'm just not dealing with whatever you done to release of those words or those swords that were in you in the past. Then it's going to be, it's just the universe testing you to see how far you've gone. So just warning, warning. So when it comes, be aware, because you're going to be triggered. It's saying that you're going to be triggered, but what are you going to do about it? How easily are you going to release of that stuff and realize that it's just their crap? These people that are doing this, they're obviously not going to change. But you can change in how you handle it. Okay, moving forward. So, then the furthest line it does talk about, there's a scenario with someone who's more like the Queen of Pentacles. You're not a Queen of Pentacles, Aries. You are and can be very nurturing and mothering in your own way, but within this reading and what we're doing, that's not what this is about. So this is rather someone else. This is someone else that is kind of a nurturing type person that's going to feel her world's a little upside down, and she's going into her own reflection. Let her do it. That's part of the process. She's obviously someone who's important in your life, and she's going to need to go into deep reflection. And I don't know how you're supposed to be there for her or not, but it's just saying that that's a consideration that you're going to come into. Okay, so just give me a second here, and then I'll come right back for the wrap up. Just a quick reminder to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. This will give you a feel for which energetic you're possibly experiencing right now. And if you would like a detailed personal reading, you can book a reading at ctgtarot.com. And thank you for subscribing and clicking the like button. The kitties and I are very grateful. Okay, Aries, let's talk about this wrap up. One of the most important things right now for you is your foundational relationships. The people that you're truly committed to and you're partnering with are the people that see you for your whole being, that support you and see you for all that you are. And that's really important to you right now. Huge, huge in your reading. Looks like you just had a good talking a relationship with a male figure that has very mind in the head. So that went over real well. That was just in your past. Some of you had a wedding. That's a small percentage, but that was just in your past. So that's a good thing that happened in your past. Okay, coming up, it does look like you need to take care of your responsibilities in your finances, in your environment, your sanctuary, all of that sort of stuff. You're going to be paying attention to that, and you're going to need to listen to your intuition of which of the projects you need to start first, which you need to handle. It looks like you're going to get more information on within manifesting your energies of give and take within financial and things you're trying to manifest. You're going to get information on how that needs to flow and who that needs to flow with. It looks like you just came into some sort of tower card where it was a surprise, and it's like, oh, need to handle this. But the good news is you know who the team people you need to work with to handle it, and also the resources and the information and the love support coming in to handle this challenge, which isn't a surprise right now. We're right in the middle of solar and lunar eclipses, so everybody has to deal with that during this time period. It looks like you're going to handle it well. Okay, coming into the future, you've got some testing that is going to be done with old wounds that you had levels of either forgiving or letting go, where you're going to have, the universe is going to test you on, are you really over that? Are you going to be triggered again? And I know Gemini had to go through some of this recently just now too, and you're going to be tested with it. So maybe some of the same people or other people. Usually if it's triggered, it's probably the same people are going to test you in and say, oh, really? You're not affected by this? You're elevated or something, or you've gotten over it, or what have you. Let's see if it does affect you. And we'll see. Well, I guess we'll see, won't we? We'll see once we get to that level where whether we think we're beyond it or we're not going to let it affect us anymore. You're going to be tested and to see if it does. Keep going with your actions. You've got the Chariot card, so everything's going well for you. You just need to not quit because you have delayed victory on this. You're going to get it, but it's going to become a little later, so don't quit. You're doing well. Just keep going, keep persevering because you're doing very well. You're in hopes and fears, you're in hopes you have the right information within your projects to make the right choices for your actions to be successful. You will be, because like you have the Chariot card, you're doing really well. It does say that there's a nurturing sort of motherly figure that's going to be turned a little bit upside down in thinking about things with her life, and I don't know how you're supposed to address that or not. It's just giving you a heads up about that in your cards. So ultimately, you're doing very well, and in your love and relationships, the love within your relationships are with the people that see you and support you for who you are as a whole person. And that's the most important thing to you right now, and you're getting very clear on that. So that is your base wrap up with what the cards were talking about, and you're doing really well. Keep going, don't quit, just keep manifesting, and we'll talk in the next reading. Okay, mush mush, talk soon.